Whoa, whoa, it's the illusion. Reporting from somewhere on Spaceship Earth. Third Sober Wednesday in a row. We got it going on. I don't think I've ever been this punctual ever in my YouTube career. Third Wednesday in a row, I'm here. But I guess that's kind of what sobriety's all about, dude, right? If you live by the sword, you die by the sword, right? So you live by showing up. You get to live by showing up, man. So so here we are. I guess we should start with a little just again, the whole thing we're gonna do, the all basic ground rules, dude, is this. No caps. We don't do all caps here. That's considered yelling. And we're not doing all caps. You get a timeout, penalty lap. And this is for people who want to get sober, who are curious about getting sober, who want to find some of the principles of sobriety to apply for their own life. There's no requirement to be sober, have any like addiction problems. That is absolutely not required. But I do ask that if you are here, that you give the space in the chat for people that are trying to find a new pathway in their life and overcome the obstacles that are facing them. So I ask that the wrenches, just zero tolerance for trolls, just delete them. And with that said, I think we should get in there, and let's open it. Let's open it up with a serenity prayer, right? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Boom. All right, we're in the game, dude. We are in the game for our sobriety here on a Wednesday night. I don't know where we're gonna go here with this thing. I'm gonna try to get some of my sober people to show up here and do sort of like we did with the coffee talk, kind of, but in a meeting format. If you are within the zone, we could definitely meet up, and you could be live here if you want. Hello, we got someone pulling a milestone. Maybe how do we do milestones? That's probably a good idea here, dude. Wait, let's see. Mr. Loeb, dude, what's Mr. Loeb's got some sort of milestone? 10 days sober. Way to get going in the new year, man. Good for you, Mr. Loeb. Mr. Loeb, dude. And you're in. 365's in, dude. Feels good. Yeah, dude. Stick with it one day at a time, right? Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. So I think one of the things that we just got to stay a little bit consistent here is chapter 5, how it works, because this is a program, and you can apply how this works to whatever your problem may be. It could just be that you just want to change your reality, and this is a pretty good pathway to changing your reality. So chapter 5, how it works, from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, page 58. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to the simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. There are such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. There are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those, too, who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we're like now. If you've decided what you want, what we have, are willing to go to any length to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. At some of these we balked. We thought we could find an easier, softer way. but we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, powerful. Without help, it is too much for us. But there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. Half measures availed us nothing. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. Here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. 1, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation and to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Many of us exclaimed, "What an order! I cannot go through with it. Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. The point is that we are willing to grow along spiritual lines. The principles we have set down are guides to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, the chapter to the agnostic, and our personal adventures before and after make clear 3 pertinent ideas. A, that we were alcoholic and could not manage our own lives. B, that probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. And C, that God could and would if he were sought." All right, there we go. That's how it works. You know what the cool thing because my mind was thinking as I was reading. I read this so many times, that part. I was thinking as I was reading, and I was kind of tripping that I found, how does it all work? I don't know. But I was driving on Canaan Road, a month ago? I don't know, I made a video about it. I found this book on the side of the road, dude. And I don't actually own a copy of the big book right now. Well, I do now because I found one on the side of the road. But I think it's just interesting how the universe will align to pills, whatever you got, man, will align to make these things happen. So, the cosmic alignment, because here we are doing this like right on time. Look, dude, we're pills, whatever your issue is, man, we're here to try to achieve sobriety. And I think that most people confuse sobriety with substance when it's more like a thought, a spiritual malady. Many of us have an allergy of the body, right? Like that's part of like my alcoholic nature is, I have an allergy of the body. So if I take drugs or alcohol, it will set off a chain of events and I just won't be able to stop. And so, whatever it is, pills, sugar, porn, shopping, gambling, being mean to people, whatever these actions are they sober, right? Sober to me is a certain amount of like understanding of self and what drives self and why we do what we do. You know what I mean? And I think it's pretty interesting in here because like if you want to kind of what sobriety is to me is it kind of gets down to this thing. We were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. We humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. So it's this thing where, like, you know, it's understanding who we are, and we can't understand who we are if we got a bunch of baggage in our life, right? And that's sort of why the steps of sobriety. And like I said, whatever your issue may be, switch the word, dude. Alcoholic's just a word, dude. It's really got nothing to do with the substance, man. And I'll tell you this is what I'm 11 years off of drugs and alcohol. I can be super unsober sometimes. I can be like super unsober. And that means that, like, I can obsess in thoughts. My alcoholism will obsess on thoughts, the thought life inside my mind, which will make me crazy and which will remove me from God, right? So it's again, a lot of what sobriety is about, of being sober, is to exist in God's space and really live in an abundant and fulfilled life. And one of the keys to this abundance and fulfillment is being of service to other people. So it comes down to this thing where, like, you know, most people think that sobriety is just not about putting it in, right? Just not, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to smoke weed. I'm not going to do pills. I'm not going to do that, dude. And then I'm sober. That's not really sobriety. That's abstinence from said activity or substance or whatever it is. Sobriety really is about having, it says it right here in the deal, dude, is having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. We tried to carry the message to alcoholics and practice these principles in all our fare. So it's really like, sobriety is really about having a spiritual awakening, right? Like we need to have a spiritual awakening. That's why we distract ourselves with all these activities: overeating, gambling, porn, drugs, coke, booze, wine. You know what I mean? Because we're blocking all the garbage that's keeping us from having a spiritual awakening. But it's in this feedback loop, right? We're in a feedback loop where we're using these issues to distract us from the truth of who we are, but we don't know who we are, because we have another layer between us and who we are. We're distracting ourselves because part of how we get to where we are is we're carrying around a bunch of garbage, man. We are carrying around a bunch of bad vibes, man. Whether it was somebody was raped or molested as a child, or their parents abandoned them, or you know, they saw someone die on the side of the road, or blah blah blah. It goes on and on and on. That's not to discount whatever everyone's journey is, but many people don't want to look at their life and figure out what it is that's blocking them from having this spiritual awakening, right? And you know, in the Christian space, it talks about, you know, coming to terms with your sins, repenting of your sins, right? It's the same thing achieving sobriety. It's making peace with what has been a dark cloud in your life, right? And once you get past what it is that's blocking you from yourself, you get to look at yourself and be like, okay, I'm not a victim here. And I'll share my own experience, and I'll break in and read comments here and there. Is when you begin to examine your life. That's like one of the gigs here. Is we made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Like, we made an inventory of ourselves, right? You can make a good inventory and you can make a bad inventory. But whatever this inventory you make of yourself, and you discover one common factor. Like, you look at your whole life as, you know, I lost this job because I was loaded, or this girlfriend dumped me because she didn't like me. I got a DUI. I wrecked my car. I didn't get picked for the baseball team. Something happened to me in my childhood. My dad didn't show up for me. My mom didn't show up for me. My grandparents got drunk when I would come over and visit them. Whatever it may be, when you realize this inventory of your life, it's to show you that there's one common denominator in everything that's ever gone on in your life. Does anyone know what that one common denominator could be? And if you've been through the process, don't answer. It's like you have this aha moment, dude. You have this aha moment. And when you have the aha moment, dude, it really shows you what it is. You are the common denominator. I am the only common denominator of every event of my life, dude. I am the only common denominator in my life. I can blame anything I want on anything I want. But at the end of the day, I'm the only consistent part of my own life. And when you realize that, why a lot of people can't get sober at that point, like I'll tell you, like a lot of people can't get sober because they can't get past. They can make the fearless search moral inventory, but can you admit to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs? Our wrongs, by the way, because we all have them, dude. It's a lot of this thing is because you got to do this with God first, right? That's why the steps are laid out in a certain way. They are, as you can't just. I don't advise anybody making a fearless and moral inventory of their life unless they got God rolling with them, and a God of your understanding, man, whatever that may be. Because I will tell you, the God that you have in your reality pre-sobriety looks a lot different than the God you have in your reality sober. The version of God you have before you've been forgiven is different than the God you have when you have a working relationship with God, because we can't perceive it. So that's why it's very loose in getting sober, of just a God of your understanding, whatever it needs to be, dude. It can just be the concept of, I don't like, that's why there's the chapter of the agnostics and the chapter of the atheist. To even just acknowledge you don't believe in God is a de facto, like, puts God into play, right? And so we get to this thing where we're trying to see ourselves so we can to have this spiritual awakening. Because the reason that we're doing all this diversionary activity is because intuitively we understand under ourselves that we're not spiritually tuned in to God of your understanding. And so we go through this process, but when we have this awakening, you see, that's where the rubber meets the road. And it's not like all that, like you do all this, it happens somewhere on this journey, dude. And it can happen the minute you've decided you needed to change your life, dude. You've had a spiritual awakening. We practice these principles in all of our affairs, right? And that's a super key component to the thing. And I think that you can apply this to your spiritual relationships with God, no matter what your practice is, your faith is if you're going to be born again or be sober or any of these things, you have to practice these principles in all our affairs. You can't just abandon the principle cart because all of a sudden you've decided to, they don't apply today. I'm having a bad day. They don't apply today. That's an unsober reality. And we all do it because we're not perfect. But what I'm saying is we practice these principles in all our affairs. So like for me as a surfer, right? I know a bunch of sober surfer dudes who are like, and it used to bother me early sobriety. They're like, sobriety ends at the water's edge, dude. And I was like, it's a cop out, right? But due to my relationship with God, I had this YouTube thing going early on. And I would find that like I would paddle out into the ocean as a surfer, leaving my sobriety at the water's edge. And I would no doubt understand that anyone that I would get annoyed with was probably a YouTube viewer and was just kind of tripping out to like be like, hey, bro. And so sobriety doesn't end at the water's edge is what I'm getting at. Sobriety doesn't end at the phone call with the bank. The sobriety doesn't end at the car dealership or wherever it is. Sobriety is in all aspects of our reality because, right, sobriety is our connection to God. right? It's a spiritual awakening. So we're in tune with God. When we're not sober, we've broken the covenant with God and we're back to free will, which means we're doing these things which aren't sober, which is adding back to the garbage that blocked us from who we really are, because the garbage is based upon not knowing who we are. So, for example, part of me knowing who I am is, I got a short fuse. I know that when I don't eat properly, I can be a little bit edgy. I know that certain things make me super grumpy and pissy and in a bad mood, right? So I know who I am. So, but I don't have complete control of this aspect. So that's why I got to go to God. I got to go, all right, God. So for example, like when I go open my bills, right? I don't just open my bills and just be like, I get with God. I go, all right, God, dude, like many of us come into sobriety with fear of financial insecurities and bills and paying bills and how do we do all this stuff. And so I get with God and I go, all right, God, open the bills, and I don't have any fear about it. So I don't carry that break from my sobriety. I don't read some piece of paper and be like, and go into the fear mind and the self-talking mind and the doom and gloom. I'm rolling with God, right? Because I know as part of my character defects, I can make a mountain out of molehills with these bills. It's a prime example. Everyone's got bills, dude. And so, again, where our principles count is things will go wrong in the bills, dude, all the time. Like, that's just part of bills. And we'll get on the phone with customer service people at the bank, wherever they are. And because they're on the other side of the phone, we think we have a free pass because we'll never meet these people again. Again, that's where we practice these principles in all of our affairs. And again, you can make it, dude, I've done it many a time, lost my mind talking to someone on the phone about whatever. And in the thing, sobriety, because we practice these principles in all of our affairs, I will realize that I'm not practicing these principles, and I will stop everything and be like, hey, I apologize for being rude. And it's not about whether I'm right or wrong. See, that's where most people don't understand. It's not that you're what the bank's a prime example. The bank may be screwing you, right? An unsober person thinks they get to be a dick to some person on the other end of the phone because the bank is screwing them. A sober person understands that you need to treat that person with the principles, right? Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, right? This sort of thing of the bigger picture is the problem, but you joined the bank. You're not a victim to the bank. You're part of it. But the thing why you're flipping out on the cashier is because, dude, you're not taking responsibility for yourself, right? Because part of the things that we do with the things that we make ourselves crazy is we don't take responsibility for ourselves, dude. And so, again, if we apply the principles to the people and the thing, we realize that even though we've made a mistake in life's actions, i.e. flipping out on this person on the other side of the phone, and I've done it many a time. I'm not sitting here. It's not a hypothetical, to put it that way, is we can circle back around in real time and be like, hey, whatever. That's why I always say, use the name tags, get the name. Hey, so-and-so, I apologize for being rude to you. I'm super frustrated. I'm angry. I'm just trying to and acknowledge your own error of your wave. And what you'll find out, and again, because this is practicing the principles in all our affairs, is takes away all the reasons you got loaded. The reason most people get loaded and do stupid things is they're adding stuff back to their garbage bag that they carry around, and they're not cleaning up their mess. And that bag becomes very heavy and it becomes a burden. And the thing, like I said, I don't go to sleep anymore with a bag of garbage in my reality. I never go to sleep with the bag of garbage. always circle it around, dude, because, right? And that's this thing where we do these acts because of the last part of the 12 step, dude. They carry the message to the alcoholics who may suffer. We tried to carry this message to alcoholics. Well, we don't know who is or isn't an alcoholic, a drug addict, or whatever it may be. We don't know. Sometimes, and I'll tell you this, is that bad reaction that you have to your own interaction with life, if you circle back on real time, you might actually be showing someone the path. I don't advise it's a reason to go flip out. That's not the point. The point is if you take these moments and you apply the principles in all your affairs, it doesn't say you're a saint. It says you're going to monkey the scene up, but you can apply these principles to all your affairs, circle back around, and you'll find out that sometimes these people that you are fixing this with in real time are people that need your help and that need you to be of service to them, dude. It's a very fluid thing, this sobriety. That's why you can't be burdened with the substance. You get what I'm saying? Like sobriety, for me, like sobriety's got nothing to do with whether I'm going to go to the liquor store and drink tonight, or buy an ounce of Coke and just get freaky with it, dude, or smoke a bunch of pot and turn into a marshmallow. No, that's not my problem anymore. My problem now is maintaining my sobriety, which means that, like, if I go make a bunch of trouble out in the world and I don't answer for it, I don't take responsibility for my actions, eventually I will put enough garbage into my bag that it'll become so heavy that I'll have no other way to remove that garbage except to drink or use drugs. Because at that point, like, I'm breaking free of the sobriety, which is practicing these principles. You can only not practice these principles in your affairs for so long before you have nowhere to go, because you don't have any principles anymore. You get what I'm saying? That's why an alcoholic, and again, as I'll speak from my own experience. I've had many incidents out surfing, for example. I don't do them so much anymore, but early on, I would get into it with someone in the water, and I would come back. All right, I got a perfect example. When my back was all jammed up, I was surfing out here at the left on the backside of County Line. It was really good. I could barely get to my feet. My back was super jammed up. I got this wave, right? I picked off this rad one. I'm riding it. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm surfing. And right at the end of the wave, this guy snakes me, dude. Just stuffs me, dude, this old guy. And I proceeded to lose my mind. I'm screaming at this dude. I'm yelling at this dude like, ah! And I was totally 100% justified in the surfing world for what was going on. So I paddled back out to where I was surfing to get another one. And I'm sitting there. And I was totally in the right. And I go, I'm a sober guy, right? So I paddle over to this guy, sees me coming. He's like, it's going to be more insanity. I go, hey, look, man. I got to apologize, dude. Like, how I handled that situation wasn't appropriate, man. And he's like, don't worry about it. I go, no, I have to worry about it. I told this guy, I have to worry about it. He's looking at me like I'm a freak, dude. I'm like, dude, you don't understand, dude. I have to make this right for you to free me, dude. And this thing is, what I did was wrong, dude. We started talking. I go, look, man, I got this back thing. I haven't surfed forever, dude. I'm in like a real danger. Why I flipped out. We were both in danger. I can't move like I would have normally moved. I can't get out of the way. We had this conversation, but it was this thing where, like, I'm correcting my path on principle, not for any other reason than I just don't want a bag of garbage rolling with me out of the situation. I have to humble myself before my mistake and take responsibility for my actions and make it right with other human beings. The dude was 100% wrong with what he did. He put my life in danger. It was a critical inside sandbar. I could have really gotten hurt, dude. And I was in, but at the end of the day, I have to take responsibility for my energy field, which means that I got to go humble myself. I got to go talk to this dude, and I got to go make it right. He doesn't need to understand why I need to make it right, because I'm an alcoholic, dude. I'm an alcoholic, which means if I don't fix it, if I don't practice these principles in all my affair, eventually I will drink because I don't have any more principles left. That makes any sense. So Alexander Keller, keep fighting the good fight, man. Thank you for the coffee in the cup. I appreciate that. All right, let me read some comments here. You guys want to fire me some comments? What do you need to know, man? I do my very best. I've worked with a lot of people. I've worked on and I want to clear up this just so everyone knows. It's like practicing these principles in all of my affairs and being of service to other alcoholics is there is no catch, right? And anyone who tries to get you to give them something to help you achieve sobriety, put a big giant question mark over it, dude. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because this is life-saving reality we're in. All right, you're in a timeout about the bowl cut stuff, dude. We're not here for that, dude. And if it's wrong in others' eyes, it doesn't matter if it's wrong. It doesn't matter what other people think. You know the difference. The things about taking responsibility, using other people as your cop-out is part of what I'm talking about. You don't need it to be wrong or right in someone else's eyes. You know. If you're truly sober, you know whether it's right or wrong what you've done, dude. You get what I'm saying? It's just not up for you to determine. You're not waiting for someone else to determine it. You know, because you're practicing these principles in all our affairs. And one of the principles is being thoroughly honest with yourself and knowing who you are and knowing that you have a tendency to fly off the handle, dude, right? Like I will. Okay. All right. Right on, Alexander Keller, dude. I'm glad it's helping you, dude. Energy's good, dude. How do you know when you need to get sober? That question is the clue, dude. I'll tell you what. As a person who's not against drugs and alcohol, I don't have an issue with people that get loaded and do their thing. When it's time to get sober is when it's not working for you, and that could be anywhere on the scale. You don't have to be homeless under a freeway bridge or a bunch of DUIs or, people scattered all over the highway because you screwed up. You can just decide that it's not working for you, dude, and you don't have the ability to control it, dude, anymore. And you're like, all right, dude, I need to get out of this circle. It's the pattern, and once the pattern's not working for you, dude, you get out. Because look, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, dude. Drugs and alcohol kept me alive for a long time, dude. And if I didn't have those drugs and alcohol, because I didn't have any other tools, I didn't have a bag of spiritual stuff and a bunch of this and a bunch of that. I was doing my best not to be overwhelmed by a brutal, brutal world, dude, and brutal, brutal actions that I was subjecting myself to. You have to understand this is part of we build up this world where we get this feedback that left unchecked, we got nowhere to go, dude, because are you just going to stop drinking and using drugs with no tools and just look at the wreckage of your life and be like, okay, this is great. That's why a lot of people who try to cold turkey it have a really bad experience with it, because you can, I know people have, but the cold turkey mentality sets you up for failure, because I'll tell you what, look at the wreckage of your past without a spiritual path and a bunch of other people to help you through it. Dude, wow, that's tough, dude. Whoa, brutal, man. Whoa. Happy birthday, Kenny. All right. Okay. Well, we'll just delete you, Crypto Zoo, dude. You can just be banned from this channel, because this obviously isn't for you. And I've never been on any drug or ingested any drink, but listen, this is good. This can be applied to anything, dude. This can just be applied to, look, I'll tell you one of the most, look, we're living in a society, one of the gnarliest drugs you can have right now and be just getting high on is fear and anger, dude. Look at what's going on outside your house right now. Fear and anger are gnarlier than I'm not going to say gnarlier, but they're gnarly drugs, dude. So fear and anger qualify as drugs in my book. They are mind altering, like, and they alter your body chemistry. And it seems they're pretty addictive to me, dude. And they're a spiritual malady for sure, dude. So, all right, that's my take on that one, dude. Just. We solid withdrawal. I'm going to invent a battery-powered microwave so that hobos don't eat cold turkey, dude. All right, dude. Like I said, yeah, I'm here. How can we focus more without taking medication? Like, how can we focus more without taking medication? Do you think the medication made by the pharmaceutical corporations are helping you focus? That's a question to answer. I always say is the answer to your question is the question itself, dude. Let's look at that. How can we focus more without taking medication like Concerta and Adderall, et cetera, dude? You've been conned into being a drug addict, but it's okay because you got a prescription, right? Again, I will say that you know, lots of drugs are legal, dude, and it doesn't. It again, if you don't want to break free of it, dude, that's on you, man. I like go. You know that Adderall is methamphetamine that's just put through the pharmaceutical industry, right? Like, you're on meth. It's bad news, dude. But I get it. It's a drug you got to get off of. And that thinking of like, I can't focus without it is because you're on drugs, dude. And your mind is wired to the drugs and your body is wired to the drugs. That's why you can't just stop and be like, oh, you got to go through a process, dude. You got to let your body heal. You got to let your mind heal. You got to let your neural network re-heal. You got to let all your body heal, dude. Your body, if you're on Adderall, dude, is freaked, bro. Just your body. Forget about your mind, dude. But, you know, I'm not a doctor, dude. You might take it because it's trying to keep you from jumping off a bridge. I don't know. Okay. Okay, talk about relapse. Booze was easy, but social acceptance of drugs like pot are the bane of my existence. Everyone just smokes. Like, again, Stashi, you're putting the responsibility on someone else besides yourself, dude. Talk about relapse. Okay, we'll talk about relapse, dude. That's a you right there. Only you can relapse. Nobody else is responsible for your relapse but you. And it's because you haven't done the work, just saying. But let's get to the other part. Talk about relapse. Booze was easy, but social acceptance of drugs like pot are the bane of my existence. Everyone just smokes like mad, paying no thought to the harm it causes to families and society. Why, I don't get why you're over in everybody else's ball court, dude. That's none of your business, dude. To be clear, like, take only one you can take responsibility for is yourself, dude. Everybody else is doing, dude. If you want to use what everybody else is doing as a reason to do what you're doing, then you've abdicated your authority and you've missed out on the first step, right? We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, then our lives had become unmanageable. That seems like an unmanageable space to have where you're putting your life's reality in other people's hands based upon their social norms. I will tell you, dude, that I hang out with a lot of people that do a lot of stuff. none of them care whether I do it or not. So I tell you this, you can go look at that whole Chilean adventure I have on YouTube. The entire time I was down there, I was with dudes drinking, like Australian kids drinking out of their minds, and a lot of illicit substances going on, dude. And you know what? I didn't need any of it. I didn't need to blame them either, dude. In fact, I was being of service the whole time, dude. So just saying, dude, don't scapegoat yourself, dude. All right, dude. All right, wait, hold on. Where are we at, dude? Let's see. You're welcome, Stashi. All right, pot prolapse. I'm trying to read through it and catch up with it. It's the 13th day of my man. Yeah. So what? We have our personal drugs. We're all blind to. Yeah. Well, you know, drugs come in all different forms. If it alters your mind and your reality, dude. It's porn's. Yeah. Well, just ask God to remove the porn from your reality, dude. Stop getting high on the debasement of yourself and other human beings, dude. 7 months clean. Good for you, Stashi. Yeah, you got this, man. It's just about owning your own space, dude. Again, it's a program of thorough honesty. The reason that you trip on other people is because you're tripping on yourself, dude. Let's see. All right. Big dummy. I've never seen an end to benzos except death. And all sorts of people get off benzos, dude. The detox is brutal, dude. I don't take it much, but I've been on it most of my life. Tried to quit many times. Tried is a failing word right there. Withdrawal is too much. But if you try, have you actually done the work? Like the work on, because if you do the work on yourself, yeah, detoxing on anything's brutal, dude. But when you do the work, you realize why you would subject yourself to that miserable existence, dude. Just saying, man, there's a difference. I've tried to quit many times. So with that, we're not about quitting. We're about having a spiritual awakening, dude. Like, look, I'll tell you this. If sobriety was about not drinking or using drugs, I'd be loaded right now. It's not about that, dude. I assure you that the drugs and the alcohol and the substances are strictly window dressing on what's really going on. And once you get under the hood there, you're like, oh, because if it was just about not drinking, I'm not going to drink. No, you have a spiritual, it's super, having had a spiritual awakening, bro. A spiritual awakening. And you get the promise. I did the promises last week, dude. Other people don't make you use. On the nicotine thing, there's a book called The Easy Way by Alan Carr. That's the book that got me to stop smoking, dude. October 15th, 2011. October 15th, 2011, Interstate 5, Lake Forest Boulevard. Put my last cigarette out and returned back to my natural state as a non-smoker, dude. All due to Alan Carr, The Easy Way. Hey, Odavar Galahardi, I just want to thank you for being a beacon of light, dude. Right on. Sober almost a year now. My life is infinitely better in any way. Good for you, Odavar. God, what a great time to be sober, dude. Wow, dude. This is the time to be sober, dude. I want to choose sobriety the same way I choose my addictions. Good luck with that. And sounds like you've just chosen addiction. Yeah, the benzo withdrawal, dude. Look, I'll tell anyone anyone who's spun out on benzos, dude. Don't listen to me and just go flush your bottle, dude. You could die, dude. Benzo's the one thing that you need to get with. If you're a heavy benzo user, dude, you need medical help, dude. You need professional help because people die from benzos withdrawal. Just thinking they can. You can't cold turkey benzo if you're a heavy benzo user, dude. You need to get some help with it. And there's plenty of people out there who will help you with it, who have the medical expertise that probably won't charge you $1, dude. All you got to do is ask God to send in the cavalry, dude. Be careful, benzos. And if you're a super burly alcohol drinker, dude, be careful too, man. Alcohol and benzos will kill you. All you heroin heads, sorry, dude. It ain't gonna kill you, dude. Just shake it off. Just listen to Taylor Swift and shake it off. Anyone who's interested in sobriety, yeah, Big Book Alcoholics Anonymous, dude. But I'll tell you, the key to it all is having other people, dude. Look, this book's Greek without a co-pilot, dude. You need someone who's sober that can talk the language, dude. Look, I'll tell you what, like something that's really important, whatever it is if you're trying to get sober and you think you're just going to go do it on your own in your bathroom by yourself, and you're going to go talk to, I don't know, your mom, your girlfriend, your wife, and they're like normal people, they aren't going to know what it is you're talking about. You need to get with people that are sober that speak the language, dude. That's why, like, it is. Sober people speak a certain language of understanding. And it crosses all religions, all faiths, all genders, all gender identities, all races, all creeds, dude. Once a sober person can speak to anyone who wants to get sober, dude, because that's our role in life, dude. That's what our number one thing is. Zuck about, yeah, if you're heavy, be careful if you're a heavy drinker, dude. So you guys got the Zuppa Cup handle, dude. You got to be careful if you're a heavy drinker and a benzo user, dude. You will die, dude. Well, I'm not gonna say you will die, like guaranteed, but yeah, highly advised, especially the benzos, man. I don't see how she puts up with I don't know, dude. All right, we caught up with the whole Al-Anon. Yeah, for those who have an alcoholic drug addict in their life, there is Al-Anon, dude. All right, Mr. McLove, thank you. You're see you next Wednesday. Got a jet. So I don't do that weird stuff, dude. If it's that important, dude. I didn't mean to delete you. Wait, that was my mistake. Unhide user. You're timed out though. We're here on serious business, dude. Benzos and Xanax, Valium, yeah, that stuff's heavy, dude. What do you think about quitting toxic friends? Get them out of your life right now, dude. But that's almost a different conversation here, dude. It's you'll find you'll find that, like, when you get sober and you have this spiritual awakening and you change your life, you'll bleed out the toxic friends will fade. I'll tell you what, the people that are toxic in your life, when you stop being toxic yourself, they don't thrive on you. They're sort of like spiritual vampires, right? When you change your frequency, when you resonate at a higher frequency and you're practicing these principles and all your fair and you're being of service to other people, you don't got time for toxic friends, dude. I don't have time for toxic friends, dude. I have time to be of service. I got time for my family. I got time for people that want to live, dude. Toxic friends might not want to live, dude. So it's that thing of change yourself, dude. Don't worry about the friends. Change yourself, dude. How do I help my dad who's most likely has cirrhosis? He's most of the symptoms, but won't go to the hospital. How do I talk to him about getting help? I think he's given up before even trying. Well, again, I don't know where you are in the thing. It's a lot easier if you are in recovery yourself to talk to dad, but that's a tricky one because it's got all sorts of defensive issues, i.e. family dynamics and all that weird stuff. Again, that's why it's a program of attraction versus promotion. It's very hard to go tell anybody not to die. You got to show them how to live. So that would be my advice with your dad is show him how to live, man. Don't try to stop him from dying. Show him how to live, man. And do that kind of thing. But again, is Al-Anon, I would suggest Al-Anon for you, dude, will help because you will go get with other people that have a similar situation. I'm not an Al-Anon. So, but what you have is someone in your life that you love and care about suffering from alcoholism. You should go get with people that are sharing that same experience because there's a program for that too that involves the same thing, gives you the tools on how to approach that reality safely for yourself and the person you care about without putting either of you in danger. Because you got to remember, dude, like people that are very deep into drugs and alcohol, like it's not because they want to be, it's because they're afraid, dude. And you know, just going in and dropping the bomb and like, it's probably going to get a bad reaction, which might detrimentally ruin your relationship, which is a lifeline to this person, your parent, your dad, your girlfriend, your mom, your uncle, whatever it may be. You going in and telling somebody that they're fucked might end the relationship and now you can't help them. You get what I'm saying? It's a little bit of it's cosmic surgery, man. So that's why you need to get with people that already have done some cosmic surgery, dude. Letting go of my toxic drinking buddies was instrumental to my journey. Got sober friends now, and I have way more meaningful. That's it, man. And look, the thing is we don't need to hate. I don't like that. What do they call lower companions thing? I don't believe that. I truly appreciate all my friends I got loaded with. They kept me alive, dude. They were my loaded friends, dude. I don't wish them any ill. I don't wish them any harm. I'm here for them, dude. If they choose to change their path, and some of them have, and some of them haven't. But I hold them dear in my heart, man, because those were my friends when everything was bad, dude. It's easy to be someone's friend when everything's going good, you know. But can you sit in the bunker? You know what I mean? And yeah, a lot of your so-called friends only see you as an avatar for the drug and drinking problem. Yeah, and you got to remember, dude, that's why you don't go announcing yourself like, I'm getting sober today, bro, because they don't want it. They'll try to bring you down, dude. What you need to do is go get sober and then lead by example, not tell them they're doing something wrong, because who are you to say anybody's doing anything wrong? Is to just go start living your life and have them look over and be like, wow, look at that dude. He's like, look at Odevar. He's like killing it, dude. Like, wow, I wonder what he's up to, man. And then they ask you, like, what are you doing differently? They're like, well, you know, remember when I stopped hanging out with you? It's because I went and got sober. And now that I'm sober, dude, I got a whole new way of life. And they'll be like, I'm in, dude. What are you doing? And I do this and that. And I go to some meetings and I listen to some lunatic on Wednesday talk about sobriety and blah, 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 blah. And they go, all right. And they give it a try. And it might work for them. It might be an introduction. It might be the gateway. We don't know how God works. God works in mysterious ways, right? So don't count anyone out, dude. That's all I'm saying too. Don't count anyone out, dude. Well, Alexander, those weird days. Again, tried's a bad word. Well, maybe you're not doing the work. Like I said, just because you decided not to put any alcohol and your drugs in your body doesn't mean you're anything about getting sober, dude. They're just white knuckling it, dude. It's dangerous, dude. Hamish, 2 weeks today. What's your take on how your spacesuit felt physically after not putting alcohol in your body? Jackson, 2 weeks today. What's your take on it? Look. One of the big tricks that why you need to get with a group of people and kind of do the program and the whole thing is the body will trick you, dude. Remember, the alcohol is cunning, baffling, and powerful. It will let you off the hook for a while. It'll let your body feel better. It'll like, you'll feel a little better. You'll be like, yeah, you'll be finger popping, like, yeah, dude, I got this. And then, you know, you'll drink again. And let's remember, dude, just because you stop drinking doesn't mean the alcohol stopped doing its dance on your head, dude. So you got to be, that's why you need to kind of do the steps and roll with some people and do that kind of thing, is because your body will trick you, because alcohol is cunning, baffling, and powerful, because the mind will sit there and be like, look, we're feeling better, dude. Like, let's just have a glass of wine. Like, come on, man. Just one line. Dude. I'm just going to have a beer, dude. Just one beer. Next thing you know, because you haven't drank in 2 weeks, that one beer is like you just pounded a 6-pack, and now you're hammered and you're peeing all over yourself, driving around with one eye, dude. And you're like, bad things happen, dude. So if you've already made it this far, I highly advise that you get with some sober people to get you all the way over the hump, man. That makes any sense, dude. I go back, Alexander Keller, go back to the beginning of this podcast. I laid out the work for you. I do it every one of these sober Wednesdays. That's the first thing I do, is give you the work, dude. Been sober 8 years and did it on my own. Hearing your support is definitely nice. Thank you. Good for you, Steve. You're definitely an anomaly, but it's possible to white knuckle. But again, as I would just tell, like, being of service is the key to it all, dude. It's the key to God. It's the key to life, man. So I applaud you for getting it going, though, however you would do it. 13 days, dude. Good for you, man. Franklin. All right, you got that, Jackson? You got it, man. You got it, Alexander. Thanks for listening. You got it, Kirby. Drinking made me angry and forgetful. Read a book for the first time in a decade. Good for you, dude. Yeah. Dude, that's part of what the spirit and the soul in your body's trying to tell you, is like, dude, we got to pull out of this, dude. This is bad. So it'll make things happen that'll bring you to your knees a lot quicker, dude. Yeah, I should have been doing the Sober Wednesday thing the last year, dude. But you know, we're all muscling through it, dude. I think we're gonna need it more and more as we go forward here, though. Let me tell you, dude, the unsober people have inherited the castle. If you ask me, dude. So we're gonna wrap it up here in a minute, dude. All right, be back next Wednesday, Alexander. Like I said, just go get yourself a big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And look, I guess I should do the print. Look, anywhere where you are, especially in the United States of America, you can type in to your town, wherever, Central Services, Alcoholics Anonymous, and you'll get a phone number, and you can call someone, dude. Central Office, AA. Just type in wherever you are. Birmingham, Central Office, AA. You'll get a number. Call that person. There'll be someone like me who's sober, who's fired up to help you, dude. And they'll get you the help you need, dude. You're not alone, dude. There's a network out there waiting for you. It's like Fight Club, dude. But I'm no longer doing the anonymity thing anymore. I in this stage of the game, I don't think it serves anybody. But I'll tell you what. Wherever you are, you can call Central Office, your town, your county. There'll be someone there who can get you help, especially if you're in dire needs of getting help. Like you're drinking, whatever it is, dude. Central Office, AA, there's somebody there. Secondly, if you're having suicidal thoughts, call the suicide hotline, dude. God needs you. This is the best time ever to live. Your job is to live right now. Same with the sober people, dude. There's help out there, dude. You're not alone, dude. So with that said, you can get a book, go to a meeting, call somebody. You're not alone, dude. God will provide. Just ask God for help, dude. Use the technology at your fingertips, dude. Call Central Office, AA, wherever you are, USA, dude, and somebody will be more than willing to help you, dude. Because that's what we do, dude. Because we practice these principles in all our affair. With that said, I'm going to end this with the Serenity Prayer, and how we begin it. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Thank you for being here, and God bless you. Godspeed. Use the name tags, use the phone numbers, and we'll see you next Wednesday, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. All right, I'm out. Bye.